Bringing the outdoors in, the indoors out has become all the rage, and it's pretty healthy for you too. Why is that? Because houseplants have scientifically been proven by NASA to increase your well-being. Get out of here. Really? Absolutely. The amount of houseplants that you have in your home or on your patio have a direct relation to the cleanliness of the air, the health and the mood, and your general well-being. Now, isn't that cool? So now you want to plant lots here. I'll put them all over me. It does help in the long run. Come along with me. We're going to show you a really cool way that you can bring the outdoors in, the indoors out, no matter how big or small your garden is. If you've got a patio table this big, like with 2 little chairs, you can still do it. This is the main guy that we are going to decorate, create. So these guys are the plants that we're going to be using. Now you'll find them all over. They different families, different types of plants, but they all belong to the pineapple family. So we've got freesias, guzmanias, and some bromeliads. All of them enjoy the same kind of conditions. And the beauty about them is that if you had to take this little guy and put it in a pot cover in your home, you would remain, and this flower would remain for up to 12 weeks. Giving you color. And isn't that insane? 12 weeks of just beautiful, beautiful color. When it starts going over, have a look what's going on here. Where's this little baby? Look, do you see? There's a little one that's starting. So as soon as this dies down, the new guy starts growing off here. So it continuously just produces another baby and another baby. And those are the kind of plants that we want more of. Fantastic, beautiful color. Look at these spades. I mean, they are insane. They almost look like roosters with their comb on top. Stunning colors that you can all work with. Besides these beauties, what I've got is some air plants. We've got a bit of coir over here, and that's just going to help with the moisture. I've got some old man's beard. Also another air plant. Isn't it lovely? You see? Yeah, how am I looking? Fantastic. A little bit of sphagnum moss. And we've got some ties, pair of scissors, secateurs, and of course some pantyhose, like every good lady should have. And then the final bling bit is a little bit of fairy lights. Ding, 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 to bring them all back. And of course, our trusted glue gun. So where do we get started? First of all, we've got to examine the log that we've got. So these crevices here are really important to hold some of the soil, which then feeds these plants. Remember, most of these plants are epiphytes. Epiphytes is a fancy word for meaning that it doesn't really need soil. They can grow and live quite harmoniously on the trees because that's how it happens in nature. A little plant falls, gets its roots onto the bark, and then just starts growing. And what I'm looking at here, I want the focus to be here where I've got the working elements. So first up, I'm going to start with one of these beautiful freesias, and let's get them in. So what we're going to do is take this guy out, so squeeze, squeeze, and then tease away the soil. Right, guys. This is going to be the first plant that we're going to be putting in. But now, looking at it, if you look closely, do you see in here, there's still some holes. I mean, I can get my finger in there and pop it out this side here. So we want to give it a bit of cushioning, and that's why we use this coir. And this is what you use for hanging baskets. Birds also love this. If you just put a ball of this in a tree and leave it like that, the birds will come and pull this and use this to build their nests. Perfect little help along for them. So I'm going to take some of this, and then all I do is I pop it in so it forms like a little blanket, a little cushion almost, that if there is any soil, it's going to stop it from pushing through. Okay, so that will do the job just fine there. And then in goes this guy. And this can be a little bit of manhandling, but remember they're epiphytes, so don't stress yourself out that you're going to kill it, because you're not. There we go, nice and snug, and look at that, just pow, like an explosion of yellow coming out. Now what we've got to do is look underneath here in this hole to see where we can plug it, and that's why we use the sphagnum moss, because the sphagnum moss also helps to keep the moisture in. And all we do is we take it and we just pop it in here to protect the roots a bit. Now that this guy's in, we're going to work with another one of these, and we're going to pop it in because remember, we're still doing the height. Now, I'm going to work in this crevice over here. Not much to hold it. So this is where we're going to have to use the stockings just to hold the plant in place. So let's get this baby out and get it ready. Squeeze, squeeze. Out it comes. Tease off a bit of the soil and then bring it along, and all we're going to do is pop it here. Nice. Oh, it's snug. It's like this piece of wood was made for this plant, or the plant was made for the wood. Either way, it works. Oh, that's so gorgeous. Okay, so don't worry if it topples over a bit. We're going to get our beautiful pantyhose and get this guy open, and then we're just going to tie it around here. Oh, this is when things start coming together. So I think I'll take a leg, chop it off there. Okay, and you want it as wide. Oh, goodness, I chopped her in half. Oh. We want to open it up to get as much of a width as possible to hold that soil in place. So cut it down the calf and then pop it open there. So you see that when we open it up, that's what we got. And we're just going to take this now, pull it round and anchor it to one of the branches. Pop it on here. And remember, just to protect the soil like we did in the first one, all we're doing is adding a bit of the coir in, and then I'm going to finish it off with some of the sphagnum moss. Oh, looking nice, looking nice. I'm going to get this little baby in, and I've actually taken this off one of my trees. So, you know, if you've got these growing at home, you just take it, pop them off because they're making babies, and you don't necessarily have to go out and buy all of these. Same procedure as we did before. Coir in, plant in, fill it up with the sphagnum moss to finish it. So we've ended up with the 3 beautiful broms sitting over there. They're looking lovely. There's this big gaping hole over here, and it's begging to have a plant put in it. So I've got the Splenrite, which is also one of the Bromeliad family. You can see it's got this lovely zebra stripe in it. Really gorgeous. So come along with me and I'm going to show you how we're going to do this. A slightly different technique which you can use in different applications depending on what you're dealing with and your piece of wood, because everyone's different. So we take the plant, take a bit of the coir, and you wrap it around the plant. So you're going to create almost a little cocoon around it. Take it around, wrap it nice and tight. All right, there we go. So we've made almost a nice little ball. And then you take this, making sure that your base is sturdy. Take that, wrap it around, you see there? And then we just pop it straight into this hole. Oh, and how easy was that? Stunning. Right guys, now that the main plants are in place, we can get to the fiddly parts. And that's where I'm going to start using all these little air plants. And if you've got a piece of wood where you can actually just stick them in, then do it that method. If you don't have it and you're going to need to use the glue gun, this is the way you need to do it. Because these guys are quite happy to just be attached by a little piece of glue, but obviously the glue is very hot. So as you're going to use the glue gun, just put a blob onto a piece of wood. Wait for it to cool down slightly. Yes, there we go, still tacky but cool. And then you can get some of the glue onto it. There we go. And then pop it onto its spot. Nice. And so we just continue. To hide the mechanism of the stocking, all you need to do, take the glue gun, pop a line across the stocking, and then take your sphagnum moss and get your fingers in there. And final bits is to take a bit of the old man's beard and just drape it round and pop it into one of the holes. All it does is it balances out the grey from your air plants. Okay guys, and last up, just to add a bit of bling bling. Oh look, I've got my fairy lights. It's not on me, on the wood. So let's get them in, and all it's gonna do is just pick up some of these greys. This isn't optional, but why not? Let's feed it in here. They're battery operated, so you can just switch on and off. Take them out if you don't like them, if you get bored with them. And let's make sure that they do a fine job and go around here. Last final touches, guys, is how you're going to water them and keep them alive until they've got their roots knitted in and created their own little environment here. Little spray, and you just spritz into the root zone. That's all you need to do, and you can do that once or twice a week is more than enough. And you also spritz the little air plants because they do need a bit of moisture as well, especially if you're in the high veld and it's really dry. And then a little bit of leaf shine that you can use on all your indoor plants. It helps to remove the dust because the dust actually stops the plant from breathing. So it glams them up a bit. Oh, look at that. Woohoo. And my oh my. Now we are ready for action. Let's hit the catwalk, baby.